Welcome to our Making Gratitude a Habit seminar, and hopefully you will enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed preparing it. So we will talk about a brief definition of gratitude, what it means from what we think at InSpace, the ideas that we look at. And secondly, we will look at how it feels like when you are grateful for things in your life. And then we will look at some blocks in the way to gratitude. Why we don't feel grateful all the time. And then we will look at some practical tips on how to cultivate this habit. And then at the end, we will look at what might get in the way to keep it going. And then if we have time, we will look at an exercise to practice gratitude. So hopefully we'll have time for that. So firstly, let's talk about what gratitude means from our understanding. So when we say gratitude, we are talking about a mindset, an attitude. And when we look at the word, you will see in the blurb as well, the play is great attitude. It is a great attitude to have. So gratefulness is a mindset, is an attitude. And if you're in this mindset, when you look at things, it could be situations or people, you will not see the limitations. Let's say if it's a person that you like, but you know their weaknesses, but you wouldn't dwell on them. What you see is the strengths. And if you're talking about situations, you won't see the limitations of situations. You will really see the opportunities in that situation. So that's the grateful mindset, mind of someone who is grateful. And so in that way, you see the bigger picture of everything. Your vision doesn't get like this tunnel vision, just to maybe be stuck on one negative thing or one limitation. So that's that. And in terms of the energy you work with in gratitude is energy of excitement, energy of joy for life, enthusiasm, things like that. And so when you're grateful, these are the things, the feelings in your mind, the thoughts in your mind in that direction. And let's give an example. When you're grateful, let's say, even if you have something you would like to change in your life, something you're not happy with, a situation, a relationship, or a habit that you have, if your mindset is this grateful mindset, your attitude is in this way, you would find something to be grateful for in that situation automatically. Your mind would go there. Let's say a habit you want to change. Even if you can't see anything positive, something to be grateful about, what you would see is, let's say, it could be, you might say, I'm so grateful that I can see this, that there's something I need to change. Because a lot of people maybe won't even realize that they have this habit, let's say, they need to change. So your mind will work at that direction, finding something to extract from an opportunity to practice, to make you stronger. So that's the kind of brief definition. And in terms of how it feels like when you're grateful, let's talk about 4 things. So first thing is happiness. And again, happiness doesn't mean that you are happy and then you become grateful for things in your life. It's actually the other way around. Happiness comes from this being grateful mindset. So that's one. It's like whatever is happening in your life, situations, people, you choose to extract joy taking joy from the situation, from the person, whatever you are looking at. So that's the way you look at life. You are determined to take joy from everything. That's the grateful mindset, whatever it is. And when you create this habit, when you have this habit, even in hard situations, you will be able to do that. So that's that. And the second one is you are present in the moment, and you are also curious. When you are grateful, when you have that mindset, you are constantly looking for things in the present moment to find opportunities. So you don't have time to go to the past or the future. The fear doesn't exist, because you know you're creating your future in the present. When you find these opportunities, when you use them, your future will be amazing anyway. So that's why you don't waste your time in the past or present. So gratitude encompasses all of that. You're totally in the present. And when you're in the present looking for opportunities, of course, the curiosity, that kind of mindset is also working. That's how you will see the opportunity. You're curious, excited about the present moment. And another thing is, so the third feeling is you feel abundant. You feel you are enough, because first you look at your strengths, what you have as a person, rather than the areas that you want to improve, or the things in your life. You feel you're enough. And because you feel you are enough, everything in your life is there to make you move forward. So you know whatever you have around you is what you need exactly in that moment. And there's something for you to take from that situation, something that will make you stronger, happier, whatever. So a feeling of abundance. And the other one, when you have this feeling of abundance, everything is almost like working for you. Of course, what comes next is feeling inclusive. You don't reject anything. You don't reject yourself, let's say your weaknesses. You don't reject other people. You don't want to change anyone, because you know everything is how it should be. No complaints, no blame. You just look and see and take what will make you stronger, happier, joyful. So let's say there's an annoying person in your life, and what if your mindset is being grateful, you can be grateful for that person to allow you to practice patience, kindness, assertiveness, whatever. So you get my point. That's how your mind is working. So happiness, curiosity, a feeling of abundance, and this inclusiveness, and the curiosity comes with being present. So these four main feelings you will have in your mind, in your heart, when you're grateful. So this kind of feeling, this kind of mindset to live a life with, it sounds amazing. It sounds really attractive. I'm sure it looks attractive to you as well. So why don't we wake up like that? Why don't we feel like that? Because as human beings, we are designed to feel good. We are designed to think positive. So the brain is wired that way. The energy of us, that's the way we work with. So let me ask another question. Who thinks, I mean, we can't communicate, but think about it. Most of us feel that we have so many things to be grateful for in life. I'm sure you would agree with that. But do we wake up like that? Do we jump out of bed Monday morning saying that, oh my God, I have so much to be grateful for? Even if you don't think about specific things, you know, do you have that joy in your mind? And if not, why not? If we are designed to be grateful, designed to be positive in that way. So we are going to look at what blocks this feeling, because gratitude is our natural state of mind. Like when we look at children, they're always curious, they're always joyful, and they're, you know, they appreciate everything. That gratefulness is there with children because that's the natural state of us. And we were born like that. We were those children. So what happened along the way, that's what we're going to look at. So in terms of the blocks, we will talk about a few of them. But before the blocks, and today I'll talk about two things to remember in terms of creating this gratefulness habit. And the first of these things to remember is gratefulness is not something I am learning from scratch, something alien to me. It is my nature. But what happened along the way in life is negativity, you know, these unhealthy mental habits, whatever, physical habits. It kind of blocked my way of seeing everything with this grateful attitude. So what I need to do, rather than focusing on that, I look at, I kind of peel off these layers of negativity, these unhealthy habits, and most of them are mental habits. And then what comes out automatically is this positivity, this gratefulness. Yeah, so let's have a look at those blocks. So 3 blocks I'm going to talk about, and the first one is negativity, and that critical mindset, that chatter in our head. That's a huge block for feeling grateful, because first thing I will see is what's wrong in the situation. And what happens with negativity is you think about one thing that's not good in the situation, and 10 things follow. And it's a very tiring mindset to be in. You know, it makes you feel exhausted afterwards. You know, you look at your day, at the end of the day, you're exhausted because it takes up so much energy. But when you're grateful, when you're positive in that way, you look at one thing and it's so attractive. Your mind stays there because the feelings are so good. So you save energy, and also you create, you know, positive energy. So first block is this criticism, this negativity, this chatter in our minds. And second block is boredom. And boredom could be, let's say, you have something in your life. It could be a person or something. It could be your job or your new phone, and you're excited at the beginning, but in time that excitement wears out, either because I forgot why I started it, why I got it, and then it becomes mundane. Or I'm still appreciating it. Let's say my job, you know, I value it, I appreciate it, but I'm doing everything the same way. There's no newness, no excitement, no creativity, no curiosity. Then again, it starts to feel mundane. So that might be the cause of boredom. And of course, that's because of curiosity kind of stopping, and then it becomes mundane. And the third thing is a feeling of lack. And then that, of course, leads to comparison, jealousy, things like that. And again, this feeling of lack, it always starts with me. I don't see my own value, my own contribution. And then I start comparing myself. Of course, I'm not appreciating myself. I mean, everything feels not enough. Whatever I do is not enough. And then when you feel like that about yourself, you start to kind of that's kind of a ripple effect, that everything in your life feels not valuable, insignificant. So that's the third one. And then when we look at all these 3 things, it all starts from this negative, or let's not even say negative. These all start from a mindset, the attitude. So what I need to do is rather than looking at different things in my life, let's say, I want to be grateful about my relationship. I forgot it, it's got a bit boring, or my job, whatever. Rather than focusing on one area of your life, if you look at the root cause and then change that, and then it will affect everything. You don't need to just fix one thing, your attitude about one thing. And of course, the source is my thoughts, my attitude, the way my brain is wired. So I would like to create new brain wiring, and that's in neuroplasticity, creating new neural pathways. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to counterbalance these habits that we've created so that we wake up with joy, with the bounce in our feet, and everything is lovely, as it should be. So and I just want to give you an example in this moment. When we look at changing a mindset, I remember the time when I had laser eye surgery. I don't know if anyone else had it, but it's when the surgeon removes that layer on your eye. It takes about 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, your vision is high definition. Everything looks so exciting, so bright. So it is a bit like that, peeling off those negativity, those habits I talked about earlier. Of course, we are creating a habit, not even creating, we are emerging that habit that we had. So it will feel like that, but of course, creating and rebuilding this habit takes some time. So it won't be like 2 minutes like the laser surgery, but that kind of excitement, everything looks bright and new. And that brings us to the thing that we're going to talk about. The first thing is to challenge yourself to see newness in every situation. And again, I'm saying challenge because the habit of boredom, not feeling excited about things, that's quite a common habit that we have. And in terms of seeing newness in everything, let's look at an example. Let's say you move to a new country. Everything looks new. Everything looks so beautiful. People, buildings, plants, architecture, nature, everything is different. And for a few months, it's so exciting. But then you start to rush, getting into habits, things become mundane, and you forget. So gratitude is almost like being a tourist every day. Can I create this habit of I'm excited about something somewhere every day? And so if you can see the beauty, the things to be grateful for when they are new. So I can see that my mind is, able to do that. I'm not, grumpy when I first moved to a new country. Let's say, I'm excited. So that habit, if I can do that with my mind, so I can do it all the time. So I just need to learn how my mind worked at that moment and sustain that habit. So seeing newness in every situation. And then how am I going to do that moment by moment, seeing everything new? And if I can teach myself that there is an opportunity in every situation, like a gift that I need to unwrap. So I become curious and look for these things. There is an opportunity for me to be better, to be happier, and all that. And then we'll look at some practices that. And now we are. It is kind of relaxed, locked down, but we've kind of slowed down. Maybe this is a great time to be creating this habit. And I'm not saying that let's be grateful about the virus, because it is a horrible situation. It stopped the whole world. But what we can do is we look at the situation and be grateful for the opportunity that gave us, the opportunity for us to rise above our potential, rise above the situation. So it could be patience, compassion, whatever. but still there is something to be grateful for, even in a terrible situation like what the world is going through at the moment. And yes, to see the gift, we need that curiosity, that mindset. So let's have a look at the exercises that we can do. So the first one is stop, look, and go. So I find something to be grateful for. Let's say electricity. So this week I'm going to choose electricity, let's say. And so what you do is you choose something, and then you put some reminders around so you don't forget, because you will forget. And then you start every time, let's say you switch on the light, you are grateful for it, because there are people, they don't have it, 24/7 like we do, if you have it in most countries. Just being grateful of what it does for you. So this is an exercise. You're teaching your mind to think in that way. It could be your garden. Maybe you haven't appreciated it before the lockdown, and just doing that. So in terms of looking, so you look at the thing, and then the next thing to do is so you stopped and you found it, and then when you look at it, you really engage all your senses to create that feeling, that gratefulness. And things that we need to emerge, we need to work on those feelings. They might not come automatically, but definitely it is something natural, and it will emerge the more we pay attention. So creating those feelings, pondering on them, thinking about them, what it really means to have a garden, the benefits. How would it be if you didn't have it? All these thoughts, just to create that feeling, and then your mind will keep going in that direction, because it's such a beautiful feeling to have. So you stopped, you found it, you put some notices, and then you need to move those stickers around, because your eyes will get used to it, and move them around, change them, whatever. And then the last one, go, is what do you do with it? And what to do is to share. You can share it with other people, or most of the times it's just to enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Go to your garden 5 times a day, or something to do with electricity. I can't think of now, but you get my point. If it's your garden, you can take pictures, share it, make it your profile picture. If you're allowed to invite people, just enjoy it, make the most of it. And then your mind will start working in that way. So that's the first exercise. And the second one is journaling. And I'm sure if you're interested in gratitude, these days it's quite a popular thing to do. So why am I journaling? Firstly, when you're involving your hands, and then you're materializing your thoughts, so you can see them. There are more senses involved, and when there are more senses involved, there will be more feelings, and it will be more kind of permanent. And the second thing is, when you put your thoughts on paper, you can refer back to them, so it is concrete, and you can see your thoughts. It's much affirming. So those are the reasons why we are journaling. So if you're not into writing, just give yourself some time to see how it works. And that also brings me to the second thing to remember is, give yourself a fair good amount of time. And it takes about 3 weeks to create a new habit, and we are not even creating, it might take even less. We are emerging, remember. So the second thing is, give yourself about 3 weeks to try these things, and then see how it goes. Okay, so journaling. And in terms of the journaling habit, the challenge is to write 10 points to be grateful for. But remember that first one, you stop, you look, and then you go, involving all your senses. So in terms of journaling, again, creating the feeling, not just I'm grateful for, but try and feel it. Why are you grateful for? Think about those things when you write them. And my suggestion is don't leave it to the evening to think, oh, 10 things today. That might be a bit challenging. And you say, oh gosh, I can't think of anything. So do it during the day. Maybe stop a few times whenever you can. Let's say every hour, look back an hour, what you're grateful for. You can write it down at that moment, or you can make a note and write it down later all together in the evening. But stopping during the day I find helpful, and maybe just go back for an hour, 2 hours. What have I been grateful for? What can I be grateful for in these hours? So journaling. And in terms of the third one is, this is about yourself, being grateful for yourself. And I think it's the most important thing, because how you feel about yourself will color everything. So first thing you can do is find your strength, an inner strength that you use in your life, and you don't even realize it because it's second nature to you, and it brings benefit to you and other people. It could be that you're a good listener, you're a patient person, kind, generous, jolly, whatever. Find that thing. You can look at what people say about you, and you can find it that way. So find it and then see how you use it during the day and how it changes things for yourself and for other people. And again, you can add this to your journal. Actually, add this to your journal. Maybe you can do this maybe every day, 2 points of my journaling. I'll use it for myself, or 2, 3, or 5, whatever feels right for you. So find that inner strength you have. Make a note of it. Appreciate yourself. Feel grateful for your strength. Because when you acknowledge your strength, that's where you can put power behind it. Otherwise, we don't see our own value if we don't pay attention to it that much. We just think it's nothing special, maybe. Okay, so that's one for myself. And the second thing for myself I need to do is, so we looked at the things that are obvious, my strengths, my obvious contribution. And the second thing is to look at my not so obvious contribution in situations. Let's say there's a meeting and I didn't really do anything in the meeting. I didn't even participate. And then after the meeting, and usually when we finish a task, we ponder about the task. Oh, how did it go? They said this, I didn't say this, blah, blah. It kind of waste thoughts going in our heads sometimes. So maybe change that habit into look back what happened, let's say in this case, the meeting, and think about your contribution. Really challenge yourself to see what you've done well in that situation. In this case, it could be you didn't speak much, so the meeting didn't last long. So that could be your contribution. Or you cracked a joke and everybody smiled, the atmosphere was light. Whatever, but find something to be grateful for in a situation that your contribution is not so obvious. Because we are all invaluable, we are all significant, we all have some kind of contribution in a situation. And most of the times we don't even realize it, but somebody will say, yeah, there will be even if they don't say, there is something definitely we all contribute to in a positive way. That's that. And the third thing that I can do for myself to be grateful for myself is setting some goals for myself, let's say daily, weekly, monthly, and then looking at them at the end of the day, week, whatever, but looking at them in a way that I see my progress, even if it's tiny, but I look at that first, and then maybe write it in my journal, or I mean, definitely write, because I would say, because we forget the progress that we made. So it would be a documentation for you. So you can go and have a look, but acknowledge your contribution, sorry, not contribution, your improvement in that aim you put for yourself. Definitely, because usually we find, oh, I didn't do this, it didn't work, blah, blah. we do that kind of critical side of things we look at. So that's another habit to create for myself. I'm grateful for the progress I've made, even if it's a tiny bit. And the fourth thing, so the first one was stop, look, and go. And the second one was the journaling. And the third one was grateful for myself, 3 things to do. And the fourth one is doing something for others so they're grateful for you. So creating that gratefulness in others. And that could be you pay it forward. Somebody did something to you and you do it to someone else. Or you could look at something that you think you're not good at. Let's say you're not good at holding conversations on the phone. So do that. Challenge yourself again. Do the thing, give the thing that you think you don't have. In this case, holding conversations on the phone. And maybe call someone who might need company. So you're creating a skill, and then somebody's being grateful for, and you're giving something you think you don't have, and then you're building that skill. So okay, so we can do all of this, all these practices, but then what gets in the way when we create habits? We either get complacent, etc. Many things happen, so it might be difficult to sustain some habits in the long term. And the reason could be, one could be you get bored. Maybe you don't see the benefit. So what stops us continuing this habit? So we said boredom. It could be boredom. It could be maybe doubt. You will have negative self-talk, criticism. Oh, it's not happening. I can't feel it. There's nothing to be grateful for. All this chatter might come back. And then we talked about high stress times, and there could be other things that might happen. So I can't sustain this habit, these practices. So find yourself. It could be 1, 2, or all of them. Find yours, and then let's have a look what we can do. So in terms of how to keep this going, let's talk about journaling, for example. Sorry, people are saying something. Okay, so you can hear me now. In terms of the journaling, let's say, it doesn't have to be just making a list of 10 things every day. It doesn't just have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be pictures, it could be tickets, it could be little memories, videos, text messages. It could be anything. So again, creating this, keeping this creativity in your mind is very, very important. How are you going to make this journaling interesting? So that's one. Doing different things in your journaling. And the second thing is changing your routine. Move things around. What you do when you do in terms of this gratitude practice. And another thing about journaling, you can find loads of blogs and articles online that will give you these questions that you can reflect on, and things that will tell you can think about this, write about this, and practice gratitude in that way. One thing I remember, which is quite nice, so you, let's say you're grateful for your home, and you say, okay, I need to write 10 things, and it needs to be new every day. So I don't think I said that. So 10 things, new things every day. So if you said, I'm grateful for my home, done, finished, what next? So next, maybe this question was saying, think about the people who built this house. Be grateful for them. Think about the people who lived in this house before you. The history, the energy that's been created, the soil, the land. Be grateful for that. Just going deeper and deeper and creating those feelings. It sounds cool. So that you can do in terms of journaling, you can keep it. And also, it's very important to check in with yourself. Go back to your journal. See, is there any progress? Am I feeling happier? Has my mindset changed? How I look at myself, has it changed? Just go back and look at it, and find some evidence of your progress. There will be, definitely. But if you don't write things down, if you don't keep a record for some whatever reason, if you don't, we will forget. Because again, you move, you get used to it, you forget. Always go back and look how far you've come. It's invaluable. Okay. And I've seen a quote about this. I'll just read that to you. It's very it's really lovely about looking back at your journal. So when you look at your notes back, it's almost like your past self is defending your present self and telling your future self that you progressed. Your past self defending your present self and telling your future self your progress. So everything you wrote down, it tells you you're okay now and you have progressed. So it will tell you that for your future self. I thought it was really cool. So that's the gratefulness seminar. So we talked about the different feelings that gratefulness brings. It's the happiness, inclusiveness, curiosity, being in the present, and feeling abundant. And then we talked about 3 blocks: negativity, boredom, feeling of lack, all of that. And then we looked at the habits, the stop, look and go habit. But before that, creating that habit of seeing newness, opportunity in every situation. We looked at journaling, being grateful for ourselves. And also we talked about 2 things to remember. The first one was, I need to remember that I'm not creating something new from scratch. This is my nature. It's in there. It was there. I just need to practice it and keep it on the surface of my mind, more powerful than the negative stuff. And the other thing we need to remember is it takes some time. So we need to give about 3 weeks and see. And again, in terms of giving 3 weeks, I find when you keep something going for 2 days, after 2 days, it's kind of gets a bit difficult and you want to give up. But push it to 4 days and then push it to a week. I find if I can manage that 1 week, and then it's much easier. It's almost like when you change your diet, your taste buds change in about a week. And I've heard it from many people. If you wanna, and they say, oh, first week is it's quite challenging, and then it's easy. So yeah, that's that really. I mean, somebody's asking that if I can go through, but this will be recorded. This is recorded on Facebook as well, so it will be available on Facebook. You can check it there, what you've missed. So let's do a kind of short exercise. So we'll keep our eyes open and then do something in our minds and feeling grateful at the same time. So let's have let's say a cup of drink of your favorite drink. So let's have it grateful. So if you can join me, sit back and relax, and I'll just find my drink. So I don't need a drink to do this exercise, but I'm really thirsty. So sit back and relax. Keep your eyes closed if you can. But imagine yourself reaching your kettle, boiling the water. You just turn on the tap and the water is there. How amazing. Many places in the world, you have to walk hours to get that. And then the kettle, the water boils just like that. You don't need to wait. You don't need to burn wood. It's just there. As you make your drink, as you hold your cup, it's your favorite cup and it is clean. You didn't have to wash it. Nobody left it dirty. The shape is perfect. It's still in one piece. How amazing to be happy about such small things in life, that I value myself so much that everything I touch, everything I have is valuable, significant. The cup I hold, the drink I sip, the taste, the smell. It gives me such joy. I'm totally in the present. I don't need anything else at the moment. Just my drink, my mind, my peace. It feels so good to be grateful, so thankful to life that's given me everything I need. It's like being grateful to someone who gives you presents. And when you're grateful, there will be more presents. And with these feelings in my mind, I become present in this moment and just appreciate those feelings I created in my mind. That's it, and hope you enjoyed it as much as I did